Hello everybody and welcome to the first NHL video on the channel. I know we're used to college football, but today I had a pretty cool idea for the NHL. Enjoy. So we put every hockey league that is on the game and we took every single champion from it and put it in a 16-team bracket. So first we have Abbotsford versus Top Prospects Red from the CHL. I had to fill 2 spots with CHL Top Prospects, but that's how we had to do it. There's only 14 leagues to pick from. Abbotsford was the AHL champions from last year, as the AHL is not done right now. But they have a pretty great start here with a 1-0 lead in the first. Going into the second, Top Prospects has to try to get something going, but Abbotsford is going to get a very sneaky goal with another to a very commanding 4-0 lead against Top Prospects. If Top Prospects wants to get back in the game, they got to do so right now. And they actually will with a goal right there. But I don't think it's going to be enough to get back into this game. Obviously, the AHL champion is supposedly going to be the second best team here. But we'll see how they actually end up doing as the feeder to the NHL. Now with time dwindling down and a 3-goal deficit, I don't think it's going to be enough for Top Prospects to come back, and that will lead to the eventual Abbotsford win. Okay, now looking at the rest of the bracket, we see the Rangers are going to be getting that win right there, and Carolina versus Top Prospects, and Carolina lost to the Top Prospects. Oh my. Alright, so simming for the rest of the first games in this series. Nothing too out of the ordinary except for that Carolina loss. So we're actually going to go into their second game to see what's possibly going on. And Top Prospects starts with the first goal. And is Carolina going to lose in the first round? As they're actually going to get one back there. So it's going to be a close game. Top Prospects bangs home another. And they're up 2-1. Yeah, Carolina, the NHL team, might be out in the first round, as that's going to be it for the first. Going into the second now. Top Prospects, if I'm them, I'm just holding the puck behind the net, slamming it against the boards, and not letting Carolina have any chance to get back in this game. But they do right there with a sweet goal to tie it up at 2s apiece. Both teams looking for that little goal advantage, but we're going to go into the third period with it all tied up. And if any of these games get close in the late third, we will go into the actual game to see how it is going. And it looks like that might be happening with this game, as time is still dwindling down and either team making a statement. And with 5 minutes left, I think it will be going to overtime in Game 2 of the series. And with 30 seconds left, we will be seeing if Top Prospects White can take a 2-0 series lead with an overtime win against the NHL champions. And they're going to attempt right there. Now, Carolina in those Hartford jerseys is going to get stopped. Top Prospects shakes him in, walks in. Oh, will not go. Now, Carolina looking. Will bang it home to tie up this series at 1-1 apiece. And the fact it even got to that point is insane, as we are in Carolina and they lost a game. Now, Abbotsford Top Prospects will now be a 3-0 series. So the AHL team is doing a lot better than the NHL team is against almost the same exact team. So Carolina's going to start up 1-0 against Top Prospects White in Game 3. And they are going to keep that lead for the remainder of the first. If they are not able to be stunned here by Top Prospects, which they will not be. 1-0 going into the second now. As I'm really curious, these penalties seem like they've not been affecting this Top Prospects White team. And Carolina's going to bang home a second. They're going to love these nice corner shots. Carolina gets a third. A 3-0 commanding lead. I don't think that's going to be anything Top Prospects will be able to come back from. And going to the end of the period, it will not be. And 3-0 going into the third. Top Prospects need something, but Carolina just bangs home another and top prospects is going to go down in this series. And going down against the NHL team is probably the last thing you'd want to do in this style of tournament. And Carolina will just not let them forget it as they take a 5-0 lead. Now, with a minute left, that looks like what it's going to end with. We have the All Hockey champions and the Q's champions facing off in Game 7. This was the only series that even went to Game 7. And it's going to start with a very big goal from Diff. And I will be shortly followed up with another goal to really show this Q team that they don't got what it takes in these matchups out in Europe. And they will actually pop one back, though. Let's see if those 2 early goals were the factor in this game's outcome. In the second period now, neither team making a statement after the start. Power play will not end up with anything. Going into the second half of the game, still no movement in the second period by either team as the final minutes will dwindle down. With no action in the period, we are now going into the third, a 1-goal game. Neither team still making a statement here in the second half of this game. And that will probably be the downfall of the Rangers here and the end of the Q League's run, as nothing is happening. The Memorial Cup hosts are now out of this bracket. So after the first round, we can see the scores up here on the screen. Some surprising things, Carolina having to go to 5 games to be up on a bunch of little 18-year-olds. And Abbotsford with their 4-0 sweep on the other side of the bracket. And ZHC absolutely destroying the Everett Silvertips would be probably my biggest takeaways from the first round. But second round's where it's going to start to get good. We got Berlin Bears versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Berlin is going to start the series with the first goal. And Carolina has honestly been surprising me. Coming off a championship, we can't beat up on a bunch of 65 overall teams. But Carolina now, since I started saying that, has gone 2 goals. And Carolina's going to have that 2-1 lead. Let's see if Berlin's going to be able to clap back in this game, as momentum has kind of slowed down for both of these teams, it seems, going into the second period now. Berlin will have a power play, but will not capitalize on it, but right after will score a goal, tying up this game at 2-2 apiece. Carolina now with a power play will not do anything with it either, and that is a tied game as the period comes to an end, and we are about to be going into the third with a 2-2 tie. Carolina has been surprising me in Sim, but they will get a goal there, equaled by Berlin right after. And look at that shot difference, 45-15. Carolina scores right before we go into Sim, and we're going to watch the end of this game right here, as Berlin is going to come in, try to take a slap shot, will not go. Carolina up by 1 with 9 minutes left. Berlin trying to walk in, will not find anything, tries to put it to the middle. And it's going to be a goal. It bounces off the skate. Carolina capitalizes right after. Carolina up 5-4. Every single time someone goes for Berlin, Carolina instantly capitalizes. But Berlin, trying to find something, passes right to him. And it's going to be a goal. It's all tied up. Carolina, now with only like 8 seconds left, is probably just going to put it to overtime. But he walks. Bang! Carolina will win this game with 3 seconds left, and that is unbelievable. The rest of the series ended very quickly with about what you would expect, but there is one more Game 7, and it's another one that Diff will be playing in. And not a lot of action from the start. Diff is apparently very good at forcing these Game 7s. They're going to get a power play here. Nothing will come from it, as they will get the first goal of the game, though. And that's going to be a great start in momentum to the rest of this game. Going into the second period now, as Diff will go up 2-0. And that is a deep point shot from the defenseman. 3-0 now. Other team's just not able to get anything going for them, as we're going to be going into the third period pretty soon. And a 3-0 lead I don't think is one that's going to be come back from. Third period starts now, 4-0 in this game, 5-0. This game is over. Diff's defense has had a remarkable game, but Calm will get one, and this will make it a 5-1 game. The Hornets were just never able to get anything going for them, though, and that is back-to-back Game 7 wins for Diff, as we will see how they do in the Final Four. Now, we have Carolina versus Red Bull, Diff versus Abbotsford, and simming these games, we have a Carolina win, and we have Abbotsford beating Diff in 6. So, Carolina versus Abbotsford, both those series went pretty quickly. Abbotsford did take a little bit of time, good run for Diff there, but Abbotsford versus Carolina has already gone to 3-0. And Carolina is going to win this series pretty easily. It was funny watching them kind of have some tight and hard games at the start, but we've gotten to the point where Carolina's just running up score. But Abbotsford, it goes up 2-0 here and 3-0, and in Game 4, Abbotsford might not be done. Can they get the gentleman's sweep and come back from down 3-0 in the series? That would be the most insane thing I've ever seen on this game, as we have NHL and NHL Affiliate League, the AHL, facing off in the Stanley Cup right here. As we have Abbotsford will let up a goal right there. Svechnikov will put one in to make it 3-1, but Abbotsford just has to hold on to this and try to start the comeback against your Stanley Cup champions. 3-2, Seth Jarvis will score. And going into the third here, it's only a 1-goal lead for Abbotsford. They're going to need something here to get their momentum back that they had in the first 10 minutes of this game. And Abbotsford will score 4-2, exactly what they needed. And if they can just make the time tick a little bit quicker, this is going to be an Abbotsford win with 3 minutes left. I don't see Carolina getting anything. Now Abbotsford will make the series 3-1. Going into Game 5 here, Carolina just wants to get this series over, as they will go up 1-0, 2-0, and Abbotsford is going to need to mount a comeback in this game. Carolina 3-0. They just need one more win to end the series. Abbotsford will get one, though, and it's not fully over for Abbotsford. Carolina just needs to get a couple more, and they'll put this game on ice. 4-1. Abbotsford needs to get something going, knowing that it is on the line. Game 5, as they mount themselves in this 3-0, now 3-1 hole. And 4-1, 5-1. 5-1 Carolina. Abbotsford needs like 5 goals to get back into this game, and it's just not going to happen. And that's what happens when you put an NHL team against an AHL team. And Carolina will get a power play, but it won't amount to anything. But I don't think it's going to quite matter. Going into the third period here, Carolina will take a 6-1 very, very commanding lead. 7-1 now, and this is what was expected the whole time from Carolina, and not 8-1, and not the start of this playoff run where they're losing to these 60 overall teams. But with a nice 5 minutes left, this is going to be the end of this playoff bracket. And this is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes showing that an NHL team should probably win an all-leagues bracket. And that the NHL is the top league that players should be trying to make, and not some other league. As Carolina will be ending with a 16-2 record, only losing twice. Once in the first round and once in the finals. But thank you for watching this experiment. If you like more like this, make sure to subscribe and have a great day.